Hello friends, welcome to the session on Python programming. In this session, we'll be discussing about control structures in the Python programming language. In this session, we will see what are the different control structures in the Python programming language, what are the different statements available to control the flow of execution of Python program. We will also see what is the syntax associated and what is the semantics associated with the control structures along with the suitable examples. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel and you can subscribe to the channel so that you can watch many other videos on the various topics of subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question how it is possible to make the decision in the Python programming. We know that whenever we think of any Python program, then the statements that are written in the program are executed sequentially, that is one after the other. But in many programming situations, we need to make some decision. And based on the decision, we may need to change the flow of the program. So whenever we want to change the flow of the program, that is the execution of the different statements in the program, then that can be controlled by using the control structures in the Python programming language. So almost all programming language will provide certain syntax through which we can change the execution of the statements in the program. There are two types of control structures in the Python programming language. The first is being called as a conditional statement, and the another is being called as a loop control statement. So with the help of conditional statement, based on the condition, we can change the flow of execution. And in the loop control, we can repeatedly execute certain statements in the program. As far as this session is concerned, we will be discussing about the conditional statements in the Python programming language. And in another session, we will go for the discussion of the loop control statements. So let us understand what we mean by the conditional statements in the Python programming language. So conditional statements are used to make certain decision based on the condition. Say for example, if there is a rainy season and if you are at home, then you may decide that if it rains outside, then I will stay at home. But if there is no rain outside, then I may go out to a college. So in real life, always we make the decision based on the conditions. In programming also, many times we need to make a decision based on the conditions. The condition in the Python can be written by using the relational expressions or by using the variables and relational operators. And it can have a Boolean value. That is, it can have either a true value, that is a non-zero value, or a false value, that is a zero value. As far as the Python program is concerned, one can easily find there are three control statements or conditional statements in the Python programming language. The first one is called as the if statement. The second one is called as the if else statement. And the third one is being called as the else if statement. So we will discuss what is the syntax of writing these statements and what exactly happens when these statements are executed. So let us go for the discussion of the if statement in the Python programming language. So this statement is written in this fashion. Initially, we will write the keyword if, and then we will write some condition. Followed by the condition, we will put the colon, and then we will write the statements. So the condition is being tested, is being evaluated. And if the condition is true, then the indented statements are executed. If the condition is false, then the control will be transferred to the next statement and the indented statements will not be executed. So it is possible that you can have many number of statements. There is no limit on the number of the statements that can appear as a block under the if statement. So you can write as many statements as you want. So as shown in this flow graph, initially we will check for the condition. If it is true, then we will execute the block of the statement. If it is false, then the control will be transferred outside the block. So for example, if I write a small program in Python, age is equal to integer input, enter your age, and we will check what is the value entered. And if the age is greater than or equal to 18, then we will put colon and we will print the message eligible to vote. So when this small code is run or executed under the Python environment, then initially on the screen you will find that it will ask you to enter your age. Suppose age is 57. Then in that case, the message will be printed that you are eligible to vote. If the age is less than 18, then in that case, you will find that this message will not appear on the screen. Another statement that is more commonly used in the Python programming is the if-else statement. So the syntax of writing this statement is if the keyword, then we will write some condition, then we will put the colon mark, then we will put a group of statements, then we will write the keyword else, then again we will put the colon mark, and then we will write another group of statement. So as far as if-else statement is concerned, one can easily observe that this statement will provide the two alternative paths. Based on the condition, either the first part of the statement will be executed or another part of the statement will be executed. So if the condition is true, then the if block of statement, that is the first indented statements, will be executed, and then the control will be transferred to the next statement. If the condition becomes false, then the else block of statement will be executed, and then the control will be transferred to the next statement. So for example, if I write a small code, age is equal to integer input, enter your age, and if age is greater than or equal to 18, colon, we will print the message eligible to vote, else colon, we will print the message not eligible to vote. So if I execute this part of the program in my Python environment, then on the screen you will get the message enter your age. If I enter the age 16, then I will get the message not eligible to vote. So if-else statement is such a statement which will provide two alternative paths. If statement will provide only one alternative path, while if-else statement will provide the two alternative paths for the execution of the program statements. There is another statement, and this statement is being used in order to provide more than two alternative paths. And this statement is being called as the else if statement. So the syntax of writing this statement is if condition colon, then statements, else if elif condition colon statements, else if condition colon statements, else if colon statements. So you can write as many alternative paths as is being required by you in the program. Say for example, if I write a small code where I will put the number, integer input, enter a number. If the number is greater than 0, colon, print number is positive. If number is less than 0, colon, print number is negative. Else print number is 0. If I execute this small part of the program in the Python environment, the message will appear on the screen, enter a number. If I enter the number -3, then I will get the message number is negative. So one can easily find that in this part of the program, we have been using 3 alternative paths. So if it is needed by you that you want more than 2 alternative paths while writing the program in the Python, then in that case, you can make the use of else if statement. While writing the program by using if statement in the Python program, one has to take care that the indentation is properly used. In many other programming languages, you will find that the block of the statement is being enclosed in the curly brackets, but Python will not use any such curly bracket. Instead, the Python will make the use of indentation for a block as well as for the nested block structures. So indentation, it will stand for the white spaces, that is the leading white spaces, that is the spaces and tabs that are being used at the beginning of the statement, and that is being called as an indentation. In Python, the same level of indentation associates statements into a single block of code. The interpreter will always check the indentation level, and it is being checked very strictly by the Python interpreter. If the indentation is not proper, then in that case, Python interpreter will always throw you syntax error. So you will be surprised to see the errors, and you will find that your code is correct and still the interpreter is throwing you the errors. It is only because of not proper use of indentation. So one has to clearly see that the proper indentation is being used in the Python program. So either you can make the use of single tab or a space for each level of the indentation. And this will come only after certain practice. So this is a small Python program. Suppose we want to create a calculator. So initially we will assign the value of result equal to 0. Value 1 is the float value. We will ask the user to enter value 1. Value 2 is also a float value. We will ask the user to enter the value 2. And then we will ask the user to enter any one of the operator. Now, based on the choice of the operator, if the operator is equal to plus, then the result will be value 1 plus value 2. Else if the operator is equal to minus, and if value 1 is greater than value 2, then the result is value 1 minus value 2. Else the result is value 2 minus value 1. Else if the operator is multiplication symbol, then the result is value 1 into value 2. Else if the operator is slash, then we will check if the value 2 is equal to 0. In that case, we will print the error. Otherwise, else we will give the result value 1 divided by value 2. So one can easily observe that we have used almost 3 else if here. So proper indentation has to be used for the blocks. If it is not used, then while compiling the same program, you may get an error. Else we will print the wrong input message. Otherwise, we will print the result. So when you execute this statement, this program under the Python interpreter, then you will find that the message will be printed on the screen to enter the value 1. Suppose it is 13. Then we will ask to enter the value 2. Suppose it is 21. And suppose the operator is slash. Then in that case, I will get the value 0.619. So thank you, friends, for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood how to make the use of control statements in the Python programming language. Thank you all.